Today, if you need to wake up on time, you set an alarm. A phone rings. A clock beeps. A screen lights up beside your bed. And even then, many of us still press snooze. But before alarm clocks were common, people still had to wake up. For work, for prayer, for farming, for market days, for factory shifts. So, how did they do it? Some of the answers were simple, and one of them was surprisingly human. Long before a phone could shake you awake, people lived closer to the rhythm of the day. Sunrise mattered. Darkness mattered. The body learned patterns. If you slept and woke around the same time again and again, your morning could begin before anyone touched a clock. In farming communities, the day often began with light. Roosters called. Animals stirred. Families moved together. One person waking could wake the rest of the house. And in a world without glowing screens, night was darker. Morning was more obvious. The sky itself became part of the schedule. But nature was not always enough. People did not only wake for sunlight. They woke for duties, for church, for travel, for baking, for milking, for markets, for labor that had to begin before the day was fully bright. That is where shared time became important. In many towns and villages, bells helped organize the day. Church bells, town bells, work bells, factory whistles. These sounds did more than mark time. They told a community when to gather, when to pray, when to begin, and when to move. Before every person carried time in a pocket, time was often public. You heard it, you shared it, you followed it with everyone else. Some households also used simple tools. A candle could mark time as it burned down. A clock, if the family owned one, could guide the morning. A servant, parent, neighbor, or older family member might wake others. And in some places, people developed routines so steady that the whole household moved almost like a machine. But then came industrial life. Factories, mines, railways, markets, long workdays, strict starting times. And suddenly, waking up late was not just inconvenient. It could mean losing wages, losing a shift, or losing work entirely. In industrial towns in Britain and Ireland, a strange profession appeared. They were called knocker-uppers, or knocker-ups. And their job was exactly what it sounds like. They walked the streets before dawn and woke people up. Some carried long sticks, sometimes light rods that could reach upper windows. Others used soft hammers, rattles, or even pea shooters. They would tap on a customer's window again and again until the person inside woke up. Imagine the scene. A narrow street before sunrise. Stone or brick houses still dark. A worker asleep upstairs. And outside the window, someone standing in the cold, raising a long stick. Tap, tap, tap. It sounds almost funny today, but it was serious work. For people with early shifts, being awake on time mattered. And for the knocker-upper, each house was part of a route. One window, then another, then another. A human alarm clock, walking through the morning darkness. Some knocker-uppers were older men, some were women. Some served the same neighborhoods for years, and they were paid small amounts by the people who depended on them. In a world where reliable alarm clocks were not yet common in every home, this service filled the gap. The surprising part is not just that people found ways to wake up. People always do. The surprising part is how social waking once was. Your morning did not always begin alone, with a private sound beside your bed. It could begin with a bell in the distance, a rooster in the yard, a parent moving through the house, a factory whistle, or a person outside your window making sure you did not sleep through your life. Over time, alarm clocks became cheaper, electricity spread, factory whistles changed, phones arrived, and waking up slowly moved from the street to the bedside table to the screen in our hands. But before alarms became ordinary, waking up on time was not automatic. It depended on rhythm, on light, on sound, on family, on community, and sometimes on another person standing outside your window before dawn, with a long stick and a very important job. So the next time your alarm rings and you reach for snooze, remember this. Not so long ago, someone might have been waiting outside in the cold, just to make sure your day began on time